Hello and welcome to this episode of our Decan walk, where Ant and I are walking the zodiac in the 10-day slices of each sign. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, the way this works is that we're two artists that are creating tarot as we walk the zodiac, and each 10-day slice of each sign has a minor arcana card associated with it. So we're sharing our artwork for each minor arcana card as we walk, and we reveal our two very different types of art. Ant does beautiful detailed graphite artwork, and I create colourful wave mandalas that are based on the astrology chart. And the chart I use is the very first step into each decan. So we go through the artwork. Ant starts off with his art, then I will share my art as well as talk about the astrology, the chart that I've used to create my mandalas. Then we talk about the typical associations and meanings of the card, as well as our experience, our lived experience of the decan that's just gone. And last but not least, we each choose a song to represent the card, and we share the song and the reason why we've chosen the song. That's it. That's how we go through each part of our walk. Welcome to the session. We have reached the Four of Cups, which is the third decan of Cancer. And we're going to have Ant tell us about his artwork for this card.
So this drawing, the Four of Cups, it represents so sometimes we get into such energies and states of mind and life situations that we put so much effort and so much work into so many things, and suddenly we're in an energy of, let's say, a lack of foresight, lack of seeing where we are and leaning into the not so positive aspects of our surroundings and what's going on in our life energetically. Um, this card, similar to the traditional tarot, where you have the three cups laid on the floor or sat out on the floor, and there's one branching out, symbolizing that there is more, there is something that you're not seeing or something that you're not sitting into. And I really wanted to stick with that because it was so poignant to me. Um, this image, and what I wanted to get across, whether it did come across or not, is the three cups in particular are backed into a corner. Um, there's shadow from the cups, which suggests that it's all about looking at the shadow elements and shadow sides of ourselves, particularly in my situation. The cup on the forefront you see is laid down. Um, I didn't want to bring that cup in as it is represented in the traditional tarot. I want to represent it a different way, but with the same meaning. And this cup is laid down, but it can be picked up at any point. It's kind of unrecognized and unseen as the bunch, as a four cups, if you like. It's seen as a separate, although this cup that's laying down holds all the power. It holds all the forward energy, the positivity. You'll see at the entrance of the cup, that is actually a chrysalis. It's a butterfly chrysalis, the monarch butterfly chrysalis. Again, the monarch butterfly made an appearance, but not in the same form. It's not free. It's not. Um, it's not in bloom, let's say. It's not matured enough to take flight and direction yet, but it is there, and it suggests that from everything we go through, there is always a new way and a new life to proceed. And it's just about recognizing that and holding on and just waiting for that chrysalis to crack open and allow the freedom to kind of do its thing, the suggestion of the free butterfly. Um, I hope I've captured that in this drawing. It was, I'm going to be honest, my least favorite drawing to do. It was the hardest drawing to do in many ways, even though it looks fairly simplistic compared to recent drawings. It took a lot of my energy to get into this um, mind frame to set the energy of this card. But I like how it came out. I don't love it because I didn't particularly love the energy I had to go through to get this card done. Although, in hindsight, I'm so grateful that I went through it, and so grateful of the energies. And yeah, it's I look very forward to seeing the rendering on this and seeing your light architecture sitting in this. I'm intrigued to see the energetic color scheme, the how this architecture kind of relates to this graphite rendering. Um, yeah, views, Liyanne. What do you think?
I am glad to hear that that's a chrysalis that's in the cup in the front. And that now makes complete sense because it's like a cup of potential waiting to happen. So the butterfly hasn't even got its wings out to start drying them, so they're very fragile. It's the most fragile time for the butterfly. It's definitely no longer the caterpillar, but neither is it, like I said, not even got its wings out to spread them, to dry them before taking flight. Yeah. Even though this is, simple, it's effective, and it's interesting that you said it's like the cup's backed into a corner.
I think anybody who understands the energy of this card will, yeah, really resonate and appreciate the form of the chrysalis and what it resembles. And you hit the nail on the head, Liyanne. Your depiction of it is more articulated than mine, and it's literally what it suggests. Is what I wanted to portray, and you see that. So we're happy days. We're good to go.
I've just realized that one of the other things that really stood out to me were the shadows. And this is, of these 3 decans of Cancer, this is the card that is about the shadow side of the cups and watery energy, where, it's almost like too much of a good thing
Mhm.
can render you motionless, or stuck. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Or backed into a corner, as you said, with these 3 in the corner there. I'll go on to the LightSong artwork and then go into the astrology before we get to the bit that I enjoy the most, which is the reveal of the 2 artworks together. Here are the cosmic and the earth light songs, the earth light song at the bottom and the cosmic light song on the top. And what I find interesting is that this is the Piscean flavoured Cancer. And, you know, Pisces are two fish swimming in opposite directions. And this feels like the two light songs look like the Pisces, you know, fish. They have a resonance with that image of two fish. Here is the chart for 20 degrees Cancer. So when the sun hit 20 degrees of Cancer, the moon is not only the ruler of Cancer, but also the sub-ruler for this decan of Cancer. So it's like a double lunar energy. The strongest aspect, again, it's a declination aspect, 33 minutes parallel Pluto. So the moon is not only conjunct, the typical aspect of conjunction being with the moon and Pluto together here, they're also even closer together by declination, only 33 minutes. So that's a double whammy of Pluto moon energy being mixed together. The applying aspects, which are the ones coming up, are the aspects from Pluto to Saturn and Neptune, and then Uranus to Saturn and Neptune as well. So the active, or applying energy is here, going into the apex of this, what's called a minor trine. And I'm calling this a revolutionary vision triangle, because Uranus is a revolutionary, and vision is this, Saturn, Neptune visioning, and Pluto being a transformer and is with the moon. This is like one part of last card, the Three of Cups. This is just one segment of the pattern that we had for the Three of Cups, except now we have Venus has now moved on. She's no longer close enough to Uranus for me to include her. And then we've got the moon now involved with Pluto. This is how it translates, the first part of translation to a light song, the energetic waves of energy. These are the planetary energies. And then here are the two light songs side by side, the planetary and the zodiacal. And now we have the rendering of your beautiful artwork with the overlay of the light song. So, because for me, the shadow is as significant as the cups, I've done like I did with the reflection on the water for the Three of Cups, it's just an ever so much of a hint of the light song is in the shadow as well.
I was intrigued as to the colours on this one, how they're going to come out. I love it. I love the fact that the two front cups have a different tone than the two back cups. It makes the image kind of really pop, and I don't know if I'm describing what I mean here. It gives so much more depth
Depth,
to the
yeah,
drawing. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. And
yeah.
I love that you integrate the shadows like you did with the water, because shadows are reflection also
Oh my
to
gosh, you're right.
so much. And pardon the pun, but you've reflected that in the last two images. I'm liking this card a whole lot more than I did this morning. um, yeah, it looks lovely. It does it so much. It gives it grace. It brings it alive. And that's what I love about what we do, Liyanne, is because, I do my graphite work and my rendering, and I have my ideas, and to me, a drawing has always been a drawing as a drawing. But the fact that my drawings now develop a new kind of depth to them through this light architecture. I love the above image. The colors in that are just beautiful, and they literally, when you were talking about them representing the fish, I saw it instantly. It's something that I saw before you even kind of mentioned it. They remind me of the scales of certain fish. Yeah, it's the colors themselves. Is the below was kind of those those Mars, those Aryan energies, those challenging aspects, whereas the above is just where the answers are. You know, the peace, the love, the insight to see beyond what you feel.
The cups at the back that are backed into the corner, I decided that the cosmic light songs, which those two are, it's almost like, for me, they were like the supporting backdrop to the earth light songs. We always have this cosmic support, and I guess you could say in our corner. Yeah, the earth light songs felt like they should be at the front, and the one that's actually, on the floor, full of potential, is, in the material world. I'm glad that this has warmed you to the card more so than you were. Great. This is the artwork, available as a print, framed print. Just like minimalist, design, it works just as well as some of the more detailed drawings, and I love the fact that it's minimalist, because it lets the actual, everything breathes. Before we go into the significations of the Four of Cups, I wanted to introduce the DECAnTiLi, which is our version of the zodiac. So it's a deeper dive into the zodiac, and it's what we're actually creating with this Decan walk. We're creating a cosmic calendar of 36 signs that complements the zodiac calendar of 12 signs. So these are tarot signs to complement the zodiac signs. So along with it being a tarot sign, we have a name for each tarot sign, like you have a name for each zodiac sign. So the zodiac sign for Cancer is the crab, and this is the Piscean Cancer, and the tarot sign is a dreamy cup. So the cup relating to the actual fact that Cancer is part of the cups suit in tarot, and the dreamy is the Piscean Cancer together. This is something that we'll be going through each time. We'll be now introducing our cards by their tarot sign name. And here we have where we got to so far. And these are the elements. So we've started with fire, with the Aries, 3 Aries cards and three wands. Then the earth, 3 Taurus cards, 3 air cards, the swords, and now we've got to the third and final of this first set of 3 water cards, the 4 of Cups. This is the 12th decan of the year, which started when the sun stepped into the 20th degree of Cancer. and the dates are the 12th of July to the 22nd of July, and we've just reached the end of that. So now I'm going to go through the typical significations of the card before Ant and I talk about how we experienced in real life this decan. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith, the most classic of all the tarot, and the name for the card is Lord of Blended Pleasure. So you can read there the write-up for this card. For me, when I look at this card, it's like you can have too much of a good thing, is what springs to mind whenever I look at this card, with this dude sat, cross-legged under a tree and his arms folded, ignoring this cup that's being offered to him from the ether. A cup full of dreams that it's almost like, it feels like a bit of ambivalent attitude he's got towards it. And I've also included the reversed meanings as well.
This decan began with the card upright, energetically for me, and ended with the card in reverse. So energetically for me, which was, it was nice to witness that kind of aspect.
Oh, I look forward to hearing all about it. Cool. Okay, let me do the druid craft, and then we're going to come back to you to actually expand upon that. So here's the druid craft. The figure looks even more relaxed than the Rider-Waite-Smith figure. Even like laxing out in the tree with the cups around, looking like they're just about to either just woken up from a sleep or just about to go for a kip. Yeah, lacking inspiration, a fallow period, which is a period in which you allow your creative juices to flow. As I touched on earlier, feeling like you're in a rut, but also developing structure out of imagination and feelings. And then there's the reverse. This is really interesting, this card, because the reversed is a more positive side of the card. It's one of those cards where the reversed is a better meaning, whereas typically reversed is usually the shadow side of a card, but this is the other way around. So new opportunities, finding that fears around your security are without foundation. And then the last one talked about staying in a relationship that needs to end. That's not so positive, but I guess speaks to the stagnation point at the top there. How did you find your lived experience of this decan? How did you experience it?
With great difficulty, energetically put on my arse, let's say. So I'd spent the majority of the decan being triggered. I felt like I was being sprayed by an AK-47, constantly just shot down and just disabled emotionally, and it put me into an energy where I had no choice but to literally reevaluate and look at my shadow aspects of my fears, seeing where I need to shift my energy and focus in everything literally in my life. So I'm at the point where I'm heading for a huge life decision and life change. I was being shown many reasons why I should recollect and reshuffle my thoughts and emotions and everything else by situations and people. As much as I didn't like and enjoy the reality of certain things, it puts you in such a negative state. That's the hardship, and then the work begins. You can't stay there. I certainly can't stay there, and I'm all about movement, and I'm all about transmutation of energies, turning those shadows and the darkness into light. And I know what I have to do. Doing it is the hard part. It turned into such a positive energy for me, and that's what I love about the cards that are not so preferable by people. Those negative energies, the shadow elements. It's these kind of cards, these energies are the ones where we do the work, where we learn. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Very hard Decan, very negative Decan that was transmuted, transformed, transcended into positive and forward movement, and that's all I can ask for. Yourself, Liyanne, how was your experiences of this Decan? Easier than mine, I hope.
I would say so, yes. And I'm wondering how or why it is that I'm experiencing the Cancer decans quite differently to you. And maybe it's because Cancer is so prominent in my chart and it's where my moon is. So it's almost like that's where the nurture is for me within my own astrological makeup. Uh, what I experienced of this card is the fallow period, creative juices flowing for sure. And I mentioned the Frida Kahlo work that I'm doing in the last card. So I did two Fridas as the first of three artworks. And the second artwork, which I'm about 85% through, is a reworking of her roots artwork, which, funnily enough, I have just realized in us talking at the moment, Ant, that what is it an image of? It's an image of her laying down, and she's got leaves and, roots coming out of her. What is on this card? The Four of Cups. Someone sat under a tree, right? Laxing out effectively. So I've been working on this, artwork that is in the same vein as this Decan's tarot card. And, creative juices flowing and the reworking of that artwork of Frida's. And then, as you will be aware, Ant, I had a whole download turned up for this work, for creating DECAnTiLi as a complementary 36 signs to the 12 zodiac signs. There's also a poetic blurb for each of the signs. So I shared the name, Dreamy Cup, for this card, and now I'm going to share the poetic blurb because it feels appropriate in how I've experienced this decan. So here goes. For Dreamy Cup, which is the Piscean Cancer, you blur the veil, you drift in rhyme, a mystic tuned to ocean time, emotional waves that carry song. You feel where souls and stars belong. And now we've reached the fun bit, another fun bit, which is what song did you choose for this card, and why?
So, as I nearly came in this week without a song. Um, Still could be the case, but I'm gonna give the song that for me energetically speaks it in a subtle way, and it's "Don't Look Back in Anger" by Oasis. and the lyrics kind of flowed with the energy of slip inside the eye of your mind, you know. Um, I mean, there's so many lines in that that were just so reflected. Don't look back in anger. You know, all this pain that comes into our lives and affects us emotionally, that so much of it is illusion. What I'm trying to express is expressed in a different way, but the words can be translated to mean what they mean to me in my situation. So, yeah, Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis.
This is probably the appropriate point before we share your song. Very interesting choice. Don't Look Back in Anger. I'm going to be listening to the words in the song as we listen to it very closely. So this is the affirmation card. I choose to see the opportunities that present themselves to me. I guess that could be a different way of expressing don't look back in anger. I choose to see the opportunities, right? And there's always an opportunity to not choose anger.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? You said that you've never been, but all the things that you've seen will slowly fade away. So I start a revolution from my bed, 'cause you said the brains I had went to my head. Step outside, summertime's in bloom. I stand up beside the fireplace, take that look from off your face. You ain't ever gonna burn my heart out. And so Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as we're walking on by. Her soul slides away, but don't look back in anger. I heard you say.
Two things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start a revolution from my bed. What is the pattern?
Exactly.
I called it a revolutionary vision triangle. A revolutionary vision from the bed, you know. It's funny, yeah. And then I don't know if you watched the music video before, you know, or you just thought of the song, but it's very interesting that the majority of the video, where is he? He sat on a chair under a tree, just like the dude in the card.
Mm. Yeah.
And it's very much got the vibe of the card.
Yeah,
Kind of
absolutely.
laconic, laid back kind of vibe. Yeah.
It has that Uranian Uranus
Yes.
energy, the revolutionary side, the aspect to step outside and see the abstract side of it, if you like.
Well, yeah,
And
the
just
guy, you know, on the drums in the middle of water. I mean, yeah.
I mean, life is surreal, isn't it? We just don't
Yeah,
see it that way.
yeah, yeah. Good choice.
Good. And yourself, Liyanne, what delights do we have this week?
Oh, exactly the same as you. And I shared with you before we actually, you know, started recording. I went round and round and round with the song. I I was reluctant to choose the song because there's an overlap from the Three of Cups, which will become clear when I share it. So I'm just going to share my screen and share the lyrics from the song, and then I'll share the song itself. And once again, and if you are not familiar with this song, you must have been living under a rock, like last week's, my choice for last week. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. So here is my Four of Cups song choice with the lyrics out of it that really speaks to me of this card. The present has no ribbon, your gift keeps on giving. So it's like that extra cup that's being handed, you know, to the guy who's already got 3 cups. What is this I'm feeling? Cancer is a very feeling, and the water suits are very feeling cards. If you want to leave, I'm with it. So that's like speak to the ambivalence about this new cup that's being offered, and the figure in the card has a very ambivalent feel about them. They can take it or leave it. Then we've come too far to give up who we are, so let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. So that literally speaks to the cups in the card. Yes. Are you familiar with this song, Ant? Do you know the song?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But I love the lyrics. The lyrics are, yeah.
Yeah.
They could almost have been written for my my experience during the Decan, to be fair. Lovely lyrics.
Right. And this is like the there's four cups. There's 4 people that are the performers of the song. It's a band, a duo, and then another 2 single performers, and they came together for this song. So here's my song for the 4 of Cups.
The present has no ribbon, your gift keeps on giving. What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. She's up all night to the sun, I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun, I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun, we're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun, we're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
Yes, I absolutely know the song.
Did you realize how deep the lyrics are?
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, so that's Daft Punk, Pharrell Williams. So Pharrell Williams was my song for the last card for 3 of Cups, and which is why I was like trying to resist using this song. And Nile, the legend that is Nile Rodgers, hitmaker Nile Rodgers from Chic.
I think the fact that it's the same artist is irrelevant. If it fits, it fits. It's just a testament to him, really. Although, or who wrote the lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it probably is him. I'll go and check, but I think it probably is Pharrell that wrote the lyrics, because it feels like his kind of lyrics, because he is like I say, he's really, when you read the lyrics of his songs, they are pretty deep. They're pretty profound. you know, even though that's like, most people think that's just like a party song, right?
Yeah,
But it's not. It's not.
no, it is deep and it's meaningful, and
Yeah,
there's obviously a lot of kind of intelligence there,
correct.
emotional intelligence,
Yes,
maturity. Yeah.
yes. Well, he has Neptune rising, I believe, in his chart. And, you know, he could his, the Neptunes is the, oh, what do you call it? It's almost like that's him and his other, I think it's one other person, the Neptunes. They're like production, you know, they produce stuff for other people.
Okay.
Yeah. And Nile Rodgers is, you know, he's behind so many hits. Let's Dance by David Bowie. It'd be interesting when I go look to see who did write that, because it could also be Nile Rodgers. So the last week it was just Pharrell, and this week it's, you know, a collaboration with Daft Punk and Nile Rodgers, who's also a favourite of mine. Pretty much all of Nile Rodgers' songs I love. Yeah. Wild Boys, Duran Duran. Yeah,
Okay.
all the hits. So Madonna's hits, a lot of her hits are Nile Rodgers. Donna Summer, I'm Coming Out is Nile Rodgers. Yeah, just prolific hit maker, producer. So this is where we wrap up for this card and invite you, if you have a song that represents the Four of Cups for you, please share it. And also the link to the artwork will be shared in the description for the video, and you can follow that link for all the other cards that we've done so far. So I'm very glad that you, once again, you know, that this has warmed you to the card that you laid the foundation for. So with that, from my heart's light to yours, till next time, bye.
Love and light.